Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Tonight, we gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in. It's an afternoon live. How about that? How about that? Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tanya or Titanium Built. And if you're not new and you're coming back for another live, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I am going to do something really quick. I'm going to turn the TV down in the other room because it's kind of distracting me. I have the door open, so I normally don't have the door open. So, there we go. We'll just turn it down a little bit. The dogs are in here with me anyway, so they're not out there like watching the TV. But before we get started, I wanted to actually tell you guys something that's really funny. Let me go through saying hi to some people, and then we'll get started. But I'll tell you something really funny here in a minute. Hey, Catherine. Hey, DM. Hey, Willows. Hey, Auburn. Good to see you guys. Hey, Mia More. Welcome in. Hey, Maga Mama. Taking a lunch break. Oh, what you eating? Hey, Micro. Hey, Petunia. Hey, Daphne. Welcome in. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Naomi. It's been a while. Hey, Felicia. Good afternoon. Hey, Ashley. We did, I don't know if you got my message, but we did a Crystal Rogers live last night. And now they're probably going to be going into deliberation soon. Midwest has been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much. Next month, your arm will change color to like a rainbow arm. So that's like the little emoji beside your name. And thank you, Mac Mama. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome in. Oh yeah, it's still morning. 11:40 West Coast. I love being on the West Coast. I don't know why. I like, even though, I mean, there is a time, there's a 3 hour time difference, but it's just, I don't know, something about being out there. I've never been to Washington, but California, like the sun and just everything about it is beautiful. Except for, I will say, the greenery in Ohio is beautiful. You don't really, you see greenery out there, but it's mostly like fake lawns and and stuff like that. So it's not as it's, I don't know, it's not as I like the greenery around here, but I don't like the cold. Look at that. Thank you so much. 20 months. That's crazy. Thank you, Naomi. I appreciate that. She said looking beautiful as usual. I appreciate that. Don't I put some mascara and some stuff on my eyebrows, but that's about it because I was going to go to the pool. I'm like peeking through. My curtains are a little open and I'm like, oh, I can see the sun. Oh, Starbucks. Look at that micro member for 6 months. I bet BK is going to do a tell-all book with Ramslin. I have a feeling, or he'll just like, either he'll do a book with her or he'll ice her out and do a book with someone else, like, or do his own book. You know what I mean? To have full control, like, you know what I mean? But if he doesn't have anybody to get it out there, then he has to have somebody get it out there, right? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Hey, Jessica, welcome in. Work is almost over here on the East Coast. That's awesome. Hey, Sam. Hey, Trips. Welcome in, everyone. Really, Sam? Yeah. It's just, it's like brown. It's like that. I mean, it's pretty though. It's like, it's kind of like the pumice, like, or not, is it pumice flowers? Pumice grass. It's kind of like that. So it's just, but the sun out there is just beautiful. I was looking at pictures earlier when we usually go out once a year and we haven't been out there in the last couple of years and you can't take a bad picture. Like the sun is just beautiful. It's just beautiful out there. So I wish Ladybug was in here because I know she would appreciate this, like, because she watches eat her eagles, like the little eaglets, the birds. I wasn't a bird person, but apparently I hit the age where I like birds now. So these damn birds. We had a set of birds, pigeons. They were the same ones. They came in, they laid eggs 3 different times. So I would go out there and they go on our where our blinds are. They just sit up there and they don't need much of a nest. Like they could go with like 2 twigs and they're good. Like seriously, I'm not even kidding you. Their nests are so small. And so I would go there, I'd clean it, get everything off because they sit up there. So there's like bird poop, right? So I would clean it, get it all clean. And this last time, they did it 3 times. So 6, they had 6 babies over here. And we're like grandparents. I mean, like literally, we were like talking about them last night. And Vincent was like, they haven't been here. Like, because he knows what like branch they sit on outside. And he's like, I haven't seen them on the branch. I think they're gone. Would you know? And I had to get up there this last time and scrub the poop off of the wall. And it was bad. So, would you know that I just did that over this last weekend? I cleaned it all and I looked up there last night and it was so clean, but it was sad because the bird wasn't up there, And I told Vincent, I was like, kind of miss the birds, right? Today, I look out there. I said, hey, Mama already was sitting up there in her nest and the dad was sitting on the banister. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to get my phone. I got to take a picture. So I got to send this to Vincent. So we are now, I guess we're a bird family. Hey, Jet Set. Hey, I don't know if I said hey to you, Willows, and hey, Trixies, and anybody I missed. Hey, Lord Mama. But yeah, can you believe that? Wow. I can't believe it. I'm like, will they be here all in the winter too? Do pigeons come in the winter? I don't know. We need to figure that out. We need to do a live on pigeons. But I was excited to see them. So I wanted to tell you guys because I thought it was a cute story. Like I literally cleaned everything. And then I have lights that I needed to change the bulbs. And now I can't get up there because the bird, And I left them on because when it was spring in the beginning of our summer, it wasn't very warm. So I turned them on and left them on for her kind of so that they would like, I don't know, make her warm. So we're going to talk about some stuff with Brian Kohberger today. finally. I'm getting into it. But I wanted to make sure I hit the limit before I start, talking about the case. Because on YouTube, if you go over 8 minutes, they usually won't ding you for like saying certain words. So that if you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button, share the video if you want, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, I did pin at the top of the chat the members link. So if you want to become a member of our channel, we'd love to have you become a member. It's just a good way to support. So if you'd like to do that, that's there for you. So I knew that there were some injuries to Kaylee when Steve Goncalves came out and did some interviews. Now, you guys might remember better than me, but did he discuss this on Drunk Turkey about Kaylee being punched in the face? Oh, maybe they'll be here year round then. Baby squirrels. Oh, that's so cute, Trixies. Giant. Oh, ooh. Willows. Hey, Tammy's clips. Yes, he did. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I thought he did because I was going to grab that clip and I wish I would have went and grabbed it because I grabbed certain clips of him talking about it because I feel like it's not nothing. It's something that it's not nothing that we really haven't heard before, but I'm just going to elaborate on it and then ask you guys some like questions and what you guys think. So, I'm going to read through this and then I'm going to ask you guys some stuff. So, hey, Oopsie. Is it Niecy? Hey. Yes, he did. Okay. I wasn't sure. I thought I had heard it on there, but I wasn't sure. So I think it was just probably the last interview. Maybe not the last interview, maybe the one before that. Well, because I think it is one of the last interviews. I have to scroll up because I was reading this earlier. Sorry about that. So this came out in Daily Mail, and this came out yesterday. Yep, sorry. July 7th is today. I didn't change my little block. Here we go. Now we're going to be ready to go. Okay. So it says here that, and I think that the news they're just trying to keep the story kind of going. I think actually all right, so actually what I think it is a lot of people, a lot of news journalists, a lot of I'm talking about like News Nation, Daily Mail, all the people that were covering the Brian Kohberger case so hard, really, 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 really hard, including you, YouTubers, we were kind of almost relying on, that trial just because I wanted the trial because I wanted to see everything. I wanted to see the dollhouse. I wanted to see all the evidence. I wanted to see opening statements. I wanted to see all of it. But I think a lot of the bigger national channels Daily Mail, News Nation, they were counting on those views. You know what I mean? I think they're just counting on those views. Kind of like when you work in a store or you own a store, you count on Black Friday sale or Christmas, during Christmas time, because that's your busiest time. I think they were counting on this to go to trial, and it didn't. So I think that they're bringing up kind of some stuff that they've already brought before. But it was Steve that was saying this in the interviews, right? So, and this is Kristi that's saying it. So I guess she's coming out to, just to say the same thing as Steve in a way. So it says, the mother of one of the 4 murdered University of Idaho students has revealed her daughter was beaten in the face by killer, not alleged anymore, Brian Kohberger, as she tried to desperately to defend herself. Kaylee Goncalves' mom, Kristi, shared the update after Kohberger pled guilty to the brutal stabbings of Goncalves, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, Mattis Mogan, 21, and Ethan Chapin, 20. Kohberger's admission was part of a plea deal with Latah County prosecutors that allows him to dodge the death penalty, infuriating several of the family members, including the Goncalveses. Ahead of his sentencing later this month, Kristi shared harrowing details about her daughter's final moments on November 13th, 2022. She also hit back at critics who have suggested the family cares more about vengeance than justice. He deserved life on death row, Kristi wrote. People say that the Goncalveses don't want justice, they want vengeance. Thank you, Oopsie, for gifted a membership. So sweet of you. Thank you. Voot, I think it's Voot, are you saying? That's cute. It says, well, let me ask you a question about that. If your 21-year-old daughter was sleeping in her bed, and this is what she says, in her bed, and BK went into her house with the intention to kill her, and he did by stabbing her many times, as well as beating her in the face and head. While it was clear that she fought for her life, what would you want, justice or vengeance? The Goncalves family was calling for the killer to face death by firing squad if convicted. I'm going to see something really fast. Remember, like, or maybe, I know it's on one of these. Remember the interview that they did, and it was, they talked about Kaylee, and she was trying to scoot back away from the killer. And she was like, they said that she was found in the corner of the bed. So, let me see if I can. I don't know if I don't think it'll pull up the bed though. Shoot. It'll pull up the bedroom though. Oh wait, maybe it will. No, for some reason it doesn't it does in Kaylee or Kaylee's room, but it doesn't in Maddie's room. Okay. But so like this corner right here. So the bed would be like, right here. And they said that she was found like slumped, like, down in that corner. Like she was, trying to get away from him. Yeah, I can see that, Davis fam. Yeah. Yeah, let's do a poll. Oh. I'll say, like, do you agree with the plea deal? Okay, so we got that. We'll go back to the article. White House claims. Oh my gosh, people are blaming Trump for the flooding. Okay. I think Kristi looked very pretty there. Look, oh my God, she's holding a barf bag. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I didn't see, I looked at this picture before. That didn't register. I've had to use those before. And that ain't a fun time. That's not a fun time. So oh my gosh. So she's like seriously so sick to her stomach that she brought, like, who gave her the medical grade barf bag? She does look beautiful, doesn't she? They've all lost so much weight. I didn't even recognize Olivia. I thought that was Aubrey for for the whole time. I was like, that must be Aubrey. But then someone was like, that's Olivia. And I was like, what? And then I looked more. I was like, what? She lost a ton of weight. There's 8 pictures. Let's see if we can see them. Oh, maybe it's just going to be them. Look at him. What'd you do to your eyebrows, bruh? Come on now. And did Ann Taylor approve of that? Look at him there. Oh, gosh. Oh, I don't think they're going to show. Oh, look at him. Making me mad. Nope, they didn't have a crap. Not on that one. Okay, so they have since slammed the plea deal, hitting out at lead prosecutor Bill Thompson for notifying them of the decision by letter. However, several of the other family members have expressed gratitude that they will be spared a trial. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm on the fence. Do you know what I mean? Like with the plea deal. Like at first I was really mad. I'm still mad. I'm mad at how it went. Like that's just unforgivable how it went. I feel like not letting people know, not, just here here's an email. We're going to give them a plea deal. Like, I don't agree with that. I think they should have sat down with all the families in a room, told them what evidence they had. And if they didn't have any more evidence, they should have said, hey, this is really the best outcome, and explain to them how this is. And even if they're still upset when they leave, at least you let them know, and you let them know like kind of everything, right? There's just so many answers left. There's just so many, there's just so many questions that are left unanswered. So BK did not, where are we at? Okay, so however, several other family members read that. So BK did not show Kaylee any mercy, Kristi added. People tell us we should be happy with life in prison without parole, as he will never get out. How is that not a win, they ask? Well, the death penalty also means life on death row. We knew it would be decades before he ever faced a firing squad. We knew that his execution was not going to happen anytime soon, but his life on death row while serving his time would have been much worse than serving his time as life in prison. And I agree with that. But I don't know. Maybe Kohberger would like 23 hours alone by himself. Kohberger's shock guilty plea was entered on Wednesday. The deal also included a clause that Kohberger cannot ever appeal his conviction. He will be sentenced later this month and will have the chance to speak, but Kohberger will not be forced to address the court, meaning his true motive may never be known. He is not going to say nothing. Do you guys think he's going to say something at court? I don't. I think they're going to say, Brian, do you have anything that you would like to say to the court or to the family, the victims' families? And I think he's going to say, or maybe even, do you have anything to say to your parents? Now, he may address his parents. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. But I think he's just going to say no. Nope. Got nothing to say. Nothing at all, Hell no, Ashley. I really do. I really do. I really don't think he's going to have anything to say. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. I appreciate everybody being here today. I really do. Yeah, Dave's saying, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't see him saying like, yeah, I did it. And, like, this is how I did it. And, well, I don't expect that at all. I would hope. I wish. That would be nice. But I don't think he will. The Goncalves family did say it was Steve, on Banfield, that they will not be participating in the victim impact statements. I truly hope that they change their mind, that way they can just get out a little bit of what they want to say about their daughter. Like, they don't even have to address Kohberger. They could just sit up there and just talk about how great Kaylee was, Look at him. What's he looking at now? Like, they just, man, it was just so fast. Everything was so fast. Lead prosecutor Thompson laid out his key evidence Wednesday at Kohberger's plea hearing. The evidentiary summary spun a dramatic tale that included a DNA-laden Q-tip plucked from the garbage in the dead of night, a getaway car stripped so clean of evidence that it was essentially disassembled inside. Like, and that's another thing. Where did he disassemble his car and clean it? Like, people okay, if I saw somebody, taking out their car, right? Taking out pieces of their vehicle and cleaning it, I would be probably side-eyeing a little bit. You know what I mean? If they weren't like a detailer or something, that's just crazy to me. And I mean, we don't know if he did that, but that's what they're saying. They said that where there should be stuff, like just because it's a car, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't anything. So, and a fateful early morning DoorDash order that may have put one of the victims in Kohberger's path. These details offered new insights into how the crime unfolded and how investigators ultimately solved the case using surveillance footage, cell phone tracking, and DNA matching. We don't know that. We've never seen a trial. But the synopsis leaves hanging questions that could have been answered at trial, including a motive for the stabbings and why Kohberger picked that house and those victims, all apparent strangers to him. The Goncalveses have been saying that there's an Instagram link. Now, I don't know. I mean, I thought that there was too. I looked it up like right when they said his name, and I could have sworn that he was following like all three of the girls. But I can't say for sure because I didn't freaking screenshot it. You know what I mean? And it was forever ago, 2.5 years almost. Like, but I could have sworn that's what I saw. And I'm usually not that like back then. I wasn't that like quick to do something like that, but I did, and I was like Instagram. Like I don't know why. Probably because we had talked about it so much. But it says here that Kohberger, now 30, he's only 30 years old. He spent the rest of his life in prison. Had begun a doctoral degree in criminal justice at nearby Washington State University across the state line from Moscow, Idaho, months before the crimes. The defendant has studied crime, Thompson told the court. In fact, he did a detailed paper on crime scene processing when he was working on his PhD, and he had that knowledge skill set. And we read that not too long ago, and we've read it a couple times on the channel. Kohberger's cell phone began connecting with cell towers in the area of the crime more than 4 months before the stabbings, Thompson said, and pinged on those towers 23 times between the hours of 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. in that time period. And I went through the other day Bill Thompson's whole spiel that he did. I went through the transcript, and I literally wrote it all, typed it all out and did a whole presentation on it. It was 2 nights ago. If you guys want to check out that live, it was pretty good. And it took me forever to do that presentation. It says the defendant studied crime. In fact, he had I already read that. Sorry. Kohberger's cell phone. I already read that too. I'm so sorry. A compilation of surveillance videos from neighbors and businesses also placed Kohberger's vehicle known to investigators because of a routine traffic stop by police in August in the area. And then I did put in a FOIA. I'm hoping that I can get that traffic stop. On the night of the killings, Kohberger parked behind the house and entered through a sliding door to the kitchen at the back of the house shortly after 4 a.m. And do we know that for sure? I mean, I know I've been on that front door kick and I'm still on it. But do we know for sure? What was the evidence? I wish Bill would have said, he didn't even leave a fingerprint. If he wouldn't have dropped that sheath, he'd probably be killing someone else right now. He then moved to the third floor, where Mogan and Goncalves were sleeping, and stabbed them both to death. Kohberger left a knife sheath next to Mogan's body. Both victims' blood was later found on the sheath, along with DNA from a single male that ultimately helped investigators pinpoint Kohberger as the only suspect. On the floor below, Kernodle was still awake. As Kohberger was leaving the house, he crossed paths with her and killed her with a large knife. He then killed Chapin, Kernodle's boyfriend, who had been sleeping in her bedroom. I still, that's another thing I don't get. Was Ethan that asleep? I mean, he could have been, because they say, Maddie was. And they did do, blood alcohol test on them. And they were saying that, there was no way that Maddie could have, even really woke up to fight back. She was just so, kind of incapacitated, which to me, she didn't look like it, but she could have went home and had another drink, or she could have went home and the booze, kind of could have started getting to her. So that could be why. The other two roommates, Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen, survived unharmed. And that's another question we have, did Brian see Dylan when he walked out? Because he didn't kill her, right? I just feel if he saw her in a way, I feel like he would have killed her. I think that her standing still and being in the dark room and just having the door open just a little bit, that might have saved her, and her not screaming or yelling or anything. That's just me. So Mortensen was expected to testify at trial, and she was there, I guess, the other day. Rumor has it that she was in court the other day. So I'm wondering if she's going to make a victim's impact statement, because if she was in court for his hearing for the plea deal, I feel like she would come back and do a victim's impact statement. It's her time to talk. You know what I mean? She hasn't talked, and people have said horrific things about her. It says she was expected to testify that sometime before 4:19 a.m., she saw an intruder with bushy eyebrows, wearing black clothing and a ski mask, balaclava. Roughly 5 minutes later, Kohberger's car could be seen on the neighbor's surveillance camera, speeding away so fast the car almost loses control as it makes the corner. Yeah, it was going pretty quick. After Kohberger fled the scene, his cover-up was elaborate, but methodical police work ultimately caught up with Kohberger, now one of the world's most notorious mass murderers. Yeah. Wonder who is the most notorious. We're going to see what it says on Google. There's several names. Okay, but that's serial killers. These are serial killers. That's a serial killer. These are all serial killers. Yeah, these are all like, never mind. I put mass murder. Okay, Google doesn't even know what it means, so never mind. I think maybe yeah. I can actually, I wanted to do a live about that. TM. I have actually like I have the canvas sheet started. Where did it go? Look. Questions for Kohberger, and then I just put like one question here. That way, I could start the thing. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll definitely do that. I'm gonna pin this so I can remember. Okay. Maybe we'll talk about that tonight because I want to do like an interactive live with you guys like that. And I also have a video from the Idaho Idaho, like not the Idaho Massacre podcast, not the one we just watched, but the other one is like Idaho Murders podcast, the ABC or NBC one. They just did a new episode on Brian Kohberger, so we'll listen to that too tonight or tomorrow. So where are we at? Oh, we read all that. Okay, so great. Now I wanted just to come over here and show you guys. This is where I found it. I went to the Goncalves' family page today just to see, like, kind of what's going on. And we read this last post July 3rd. But then July 4th, it says, if you have a moment, give this a watch. It's not long. It says, Nancy Grace goes off on Kohberger prosecutors after shocking plea deal. And I was like, oh my goodness, what does she say? Because she's Nancy, Hey, wizard. I was shocked, but then I wasn't. I said that I thought if the prosecutor, I thought this is how I saw it. I thought if the prosecutors went to Brian and said, hey, if you tell us everything that happened, blah, 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 like all of it, like a proffer almost, right? We'll give you a deal. So anything that you tell us, like a proffer is pretty much like anything you tell us, we will not use against you, right? And then Brian could have spilled his little guts out, and then he could have got life in prison. That's how I thought it was going to go. If there was a plea deal, I said if there is a plea deal, I feel like that's how it's going to go. But how it went was the defense went to the prosecution was like, hey, he'll plead guilty if you just like let him not do anything. Pretty much. Oopsie, look at that, 23 months. I know. I think I'm gonna start doing some more lives during the day. What was the one that was most recent Dateline? There was I think there was a Dateline. There's a 48 hours that's out too. And I'm gonna put that on my Patreon because I don't think I could put it on here. I'll put my link if you guys want to look at my Patreon. I did put the Peacock hour-and-a-half episode for the Idaho murders on there. It's pretty good. I haven't watched all of it yet, so I'm gonna watch it, and I'll tell you like in a day in advance, and I'm gonna watch it, and then we'll go over it with like some notes, so that way if you do want to watch it, but it's on there. So this is gonna be Nancy Grace talking to Fox News about Brian Kohberger and the plea deal.
I want to bring in Nancy Grace now.
Oh, and if you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Tanya, or Titanium Built. If you're watching on a replay, I really appreciate that as well. Comment below anything that you guys, any questions you have, any comments you have, and I will, look at them and I will comment back to them. And thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for the super sticker. That was so sweet. Thank you so much. All right, I'll play this for you guys.
It's the Crime Stories with Nancy Grace on YouTube. It's good to see you again, Nancy. Good morning to you. I have a specific question for you. Some of the families apparently we're told are okay with the plea. Some are clearly not. Here is one on NBC Today Show. Watch.
It's my daughter. It's our children. How can you say it's just when you haven't even talked to us? They told it it's not really about us. It's about their process. Just shut up and get on board and deal with it. That's really what they told us. Idaho's failed. They failed me. They failed my whole family.
Let's see what goes down together a little later today. I don't know what the prosecutors know. I don't know what the judge knows. Maybe they think this is the best deal possible. What do you think?
No, she's going to be mad.
Very early days of this case.
Technical legal term, it's BS. I'm a crime victim, and a lot of what happened at my fiance's murder trial is really blurry to me. I think I'm not allowing myself to remember it because it was so painful. But I do remember the felony prosecutor coming and speaking to me and Keith's family before he went forward with the trial or any potential sentencing, and spoke to us and had agreement with us. Long story short, I feel that the family was left out of the equation. I've got the letter that they sent the family. A letter? Really? A letter instead of a meeting? Listen, there is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, on the murder weapon sheath found under the dead body. What more do you really need? I find this weak. It sounds to me like somebody didn't have the spine to take the case to trial. And I agree with Goncalves.
Wow. Why do you say they didn't have the guts to do this? The spine, in your words. Why would that be if you think the evidence is so strong? Well,
because why else would you take the easy way out? Yes, it's going to be a long trial. It's going to be a battle start to finish, and you don't know the outcome. You're rolling the dice, but that's what trial work is. Man up. Get in there, do it. That's what they're paid to do. They have an incredible treasure trove of evidence. And all this business about the family gets to look him in the eye at sentencing, he probably won't even look at them. And at sentencing, they speak. He doesn't. We will never know what really happened. We would learn that at trial, but there's not going to be a trial. He will be forever shrouded in the mystique like Ted Bundy and Rex Heuermann and BTK. You know what? You know what's going to happen, Bill Hemmer? He's going to take this deal. He's going to go to jail. And then one day we're going to see him on a Zoom at some big symposium where he tells his side. It's total BS.
So explain.
He's going to have
why,
girlfriends,
yeah, why would
make money? Yeah. It's not fair.
Sorry for interrupting. I've got 30 seconds left. I really want to get an explanation for you. Why would the judge allow him to not explain what happened? And maybe there is an explanation that he offers in court today. We'll see that live together.
There is. It's called the Fifth Amendment. Right to remain silent. Now, the state could have made it a condition to make him speak.
That's the point.
They didn't. He is not allocuting, and he doesn't have to.
But the state could have forced him, if he wants the deal the way he wants it, to explain what went down.
That's right. And they didn't. That's what I'm screaming here. It's not fair to the victims' families. They're going away empty after this without any answers. I know what happened to Keith. They will never know what happened to their children. And let me tell you one more thing. I thought I knew all about grief and mourning when he was murdered. Until I had the twins, I knew nothing. I cannot imagine what these families are going through. And I even feel guilty talking about it because we don't know the suffering they've had. And now this. There's a remote chance the feds could step in the way they did with Luigi Mangione and Rodney King. Do I think it's going to happen? It would not be double jeopardy. It would not. Could it happen? Yes, because Kohberger crossed state lines to do this.
Okay.
Will it happen? Probably not.
Got it. Okay. From 1 o'clock
She
this
used to work
afternoon,
there.
our time in New York, 11 a.m. in Boise, Idaho. We'll watch it on camera together. Nancy, thank you for coming back. Nancy Grace, thanks.
Hey,
She looked good, didn't she? She looked dang good. Wow. I like her haircut. I ain't gonna lie. She's not happy. We watched actually her last couple of episodes on Brian Kohberger, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I like when she says, put him back on the screen. But we could replay her old episodes. We actually started to do that, and then I think that we stopped because there was a bunch of like court proceedings starting to happen, and then we never went back to it. That was my mistake. But some of them are like on Fox Nation, and I still have that. I think I'm pretty sure I still have that. I'm like really sure. And they have all of her old episodes on there on Fox Nation. So we could play those if you guys wanted to sometime. Just to see like the full story, you know what I mean? The full case kind of unfold through Nancy's eyes, because Nancy's crazy. So I did find some clips and stuff of Steve Goncalves talking about, you know, Kaylee's injuries, what she sustained the night of the 13th, or the morning of the 13th. So I grabbed a couple clips. We'll go through those, and I'll show you, because I think that with Kristi coming out and saying it, I think she's just kind of confirming what, you know, Steve had said, because we already kind of knew, you know, that Kaylee was, you know, hit in the face. I'm assuming they said in the head too. So I don't know if he hit her with like the heel. I don't know what that's called, like the end of the knife. That, because that could cause, you know, that could cause injury, and that could be the reason why she was scrambling up, you know, in the bed. In my opinion, it looks like that Kaylee and Xana probably had it the worst out of all of them, because Maddie, it seems like, was sleeping, and so was, you know, Ethan. Is it called the butt of the knife? I was going to say that, Kathy, but I thought it was the butt of the gun. So I didn't know if it was the butt of the knife as well. And thank you, Hazel Eyes. Thank you so much. I appreciate the $5 super sticker. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. She said for the goal. I appreciate that. Sometimes it doesn't let me like hit the little love thing, the little heart. Okay, so we'll listen to Steve here. He looks like he's pissed, and I would be too. This was from 2 months ago. Let me see if I have. That's 2 months ago. I think these are all 2 months ago. But I know that I think he said it before 2 months ago. But we'll play this here.
And she shared with us
We're just going to play a part of it.
that Xana had some very severe defensive wounds. Like Xana had fought very, very aggressively with this killer. And I think that the coroner may have shared something with you about some of the injuries that Kaylee had, right?
Yeah, she did. And she was struck in the face. Her nose was broken. There was multiple hits from what I've been told, and trying to be careful with my words. But
she must have been so strong, right? If you think about it, because if you're getting hit like that, for you to like scramble back and not just lay there, do you know what I mean? Her adrenaline must have just went and like kicked in, right? And it's probably because she grew up with, you know, she had a brother and, you know, stuff like that. I think maybe that had something to do with it. You know, she was maybe a little stronger than most girls. Always wanted to, you know, do what the boys did. So I feel like maybe that her adrenaline kicked in, and that's how she, you know, scrambled back to the corner. But it's just incredibly sad.
But the blows that he sustained, delivered to her, would have killed her.
Really?
Yeah.
If the knife wounds hadn't, the blows would have?
Yeah.
Damn. So was he hitting her with his fist? Because he used to do boxing, right? He used to be a boxer. I don't know how good he was. I mean, I can't tell you if he was good or not. I can just tell you that he was a boxer. Thank you, Pancakes. I appreciate the $5 super sticker. That's so sweet. Thank you. So I'm just wondering if it was the knife or if it was both. Do you guys think, okay, so I had a couple questions for you. So do you guys think that Kaylee was in the bed with Maddie when Brian came in? Or do you guys think maybe Kaylee was in her own bedroom? And then she woke up because she had heard something from Maddie's room. Maybe their doors were both kind of open to where, you know, she could have heard something and she got up. Or did, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Like, I'm thinking, like, did Kaylee even maybe she was, I don't know if she would have been in bed, but I was thinking if she was standing up at that and she looked out that back slider, she might have seen him come in. I don't know. I feel like she was in her bedroom. I've always thought that. You think they were in the same room? You think in their own bedroom, in her own room? Hey, Warning Label. Nina, welcome in. And welcome in, everybody. And someone actually said, do you think he had brass knuckles? Yeah, like I know that but we saw Kaylee and Maddie on the grub truck video, right? Maddie looked pretty intoxicated, but she wasn't falling down, right? Like she wasn't leaning on Kaylee for like support. She wasn't, you know, like she was able to stand up. She was a little wobbly. I mean, that would think that was the grace of God, just helping her sleep. See, that's what I think. See, okay, so what I think is Kaylee was in her room. She gets up and she says, like, as she's walking out the door, Murphy's in her room with her. They're sleeping in the bed together. And she turns around and she says, there's someone here. Like kind of talking to, this is just what I had in my head. Like kind of like talking to Murphy as she's turning around to close the door, right? Like she's closing the door to make sure Murphy's not getting out. So she's looking at her door and she's closing it, right? So Murphy is now closed up in Kaylee's room. So that would put the dog in the room. And then maybe she turns around and she sees this figure that she knows is not, you know, Maddie's boyfriend. And maybe she saw what he was doing and she runs in there and the bed is against the wall. So maybe she gets onto the bed to try to like grab Maddie or something, you know what I mean? To protect her. And then that's when Brian goes from Maddie to Kaylee. Because what I was thinking is, what if, okay, so let's say that you're going into this house in the dead of night and you want to kill one person and that's Maddie, right? Let's just say that. As soon as you crept up the steps, right? Because you're going to be trying to be sneaky. You're not going to be like making a lot of noise. And you open up that door and Maddie's passed out. And I would assume that Kaylee would probably be like laying down with her eyes closed. You would see two people in there, right? Wouldn't you at that point go, nope, not tonight. It's not a good idea. Let's not do this tonight, right? And just get out of the house. Why change what, like, you know what I mean? Like, why just be like, why open the door and be like, oh, there's my target. Oh, there's someone else in here. I'm just going to go ahead and kill them both. Does that make sense? I think, yeah, I think so too. The Faro scan. I have, so I have this picture. I blew it up a little bit. So, because this is the picture that got me like thinking that Kaylee was in her own bed. Do you see how like the blankets are like turned down right there on the side? I've been saying this for 2.5 years, it seems like. But it does. It looks like somebody was sleeping in there and they just turned the blanket over and they got up, right? And they went into the other room. Yeah, they did cut out the wall by the door. Wait, what was? Well, that was by the window. I know they did that in Maddie's room. See, but her bed's still here. She left her bed here. She left her bed for the next tenant, I guess. They do that a lot because it's usually like they know the people that are going to move in after they're moving out in a way, because that house is so like, that house was like so like you were on a list, you know what I mean? Like a waiting list in a way to get into that house. Yeah, Pickle, they did. And welcome in, Body Moving. And everybody else, welcome in. Did he? How would he let himself back in though? Yeah, where the desk was. That's what I'm like, what? Why were they take it from the desk? Yeah, like I saw that. That was a weird spot to take the wall from. The only thing I could think of is maybe he went backwards like this, like and flung, blood that way. I'm just reading the chat, reading your guys' stuff really quick. I'm wondering, I mean, oh, Body Movement, that's, yeah. And he was fierce. See, that's what I think too. I think that too. I've always thought that. Well, okay, I lied. In the beginning, for like the first maybe like 2 months or a month or something. It wasn't very long, but I thought Kaylee might have been the target. And then I saw this picture and I don't know, just something about the whole thing. I just was like, I think that it was Maddie, because Kaylee really wasn't even supposed to be there that night. And I don't think that he planned it just because she was there. I think he would have done it sometime before she moved out, I don't think that he knew that she was there. I don't think anybody knew. Like no one really knew that she was supposed to be there. So then he did go on News Nation. I think I listened to this one. This one's like one of those YouTube shorts. So it's buffering right now. Maybe it'll play. And then I'll share the tab with you. Okay. Let's hear what he has to say here.
Had a chance to speak with the coroner and got a detail about one of the injuries that your daughter suffered at the hands of this killer. I think it was a punch to the face. Can you tell me what it is that you learned?
I don't go into all the details on it because I want the court to bring it out. I want them to do it. But yes, I feel 2.5 years.
He said he wants the court to bring it out. Like, I guess the autopsy results, I'm assuming. So I don't know if they'll release those. I would assume that they would, because they're adults. I mean, we've seen autopsy reports on children, so I don't know why they wouldn't. But I'm sure that they're horrific if they do come out.
The defense has a strategy to have everybody forget, and I'm here to make sure they don't forget. So when I do have to let stuff out, it's because I don't want people to forget that we have a monster. And yes, he one of the girls was a little more intoxicated.
That's what I said.
He was able to go after that Maddie May first,
and my daughter woke up, and he struck her multiple times and broke her nose.
I think you had a chance to.
I've had my nose broken so many times it's not funny. Car accidents, never a fight. It hurts. It stuns you. You know what I mean? Oh gosh, he's a sick individual. He misbehaving. Yeah, just not the photos. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to see the photos. Nobody needs to, in my opinion. Like nobody, right? In my opinion, I just think that no. There's some things that just do need to be sealed and never seen. I do want to see like the evidence though that they had. I want to see the 3D like house. Like don't let that go to waste, right? You built that. Don't let that go to waste. Don't just throw it away. I don't know what they do with those things when they're done with them, like, right? Because they're not going to use it. What do they do with it? I'll take it. How much you want for it? Like I don't know. That's crazy to me. I hope that they put out like pictures of it or something. So in this article here, just as Father Kaylee Goncalves, one of the 4 murdered University of Idaho students, says there's evidence his daughter fought back. And this came out June 30th, 2024. So this is actually, I think I should have played this maybe first because the other ones were from 2 months ago. Yeah, I meant to play this one first. Sorry about that. So he's been saying, this for a little while. I mean, over a year. I was going to see if it says here, I don't know why it happened. Jasmine Kernodle, sister of Xana Kernodle, told 48 Hours. I wish we knew. They were all 4 of them were just such great people and made such an impact on the lives around them. And Jasmine and her father, Jeffrey, spoke with Van Sant in the night of the Idaho murders, now streaming on Paramount. And I do have that on my Patreon. So I'll put the link in the chat here in just a moment if you guys want to watch that over on Patreon. I just can't play it on YouTube. They'll strike me. So it says, Van Sant asked Jeffrey Kernodle about reports that his daughter Xana fought back against the attacker. I believe so, Kernodle replied. It's upsetting to think about. He probably just, they probably told him things and he probably just, those are his own personal thoughts. Also interviewed were Kaylee Goncalves' parents, Kristi and Steve Goncalves, and Kaylee's sister, Olivia Goncalves. We're not going to sit back and cross our fingers and pray. We're going to get justice, Steve Goncalves said. That desire for justice led the Goncalves family to undertake their own investigation, in addition to speaking with authorities before a gag order was put in place. Steve says, according to the coroner, the first victim was Mogan. Both Mogan and Goncalves were sleeping in the same bed in a room on the 3rd floor of the house. After the killings, Mogan, the assailant, then went on to kill Kaylee, Steve Goncalves said. See, and that's another thing. Like, if they were in the bed together, right, when this started happening, your instinct, I feel like your instinct would be to run, right? I just feel like she would have been found like in a different position, like in a different spot. Like, I feel like she would have like just tried to jump off the bed, or I mean, maybe not. Maybe she would have woke up and tried to grab, Maddie, and then he, punched her and, in the face. But I do think that she was in her bedroom. I really do. There's no evidence to show that she awakened and tried to get out of that situation. So there's no, there is evidence. Okay. So there is evidence to show that she awakened and tried to get out of that situation. She was assaulted and stabbed. Kristi explains her daughter had several fatal wounds that the way the bedroom was set up made it difficult to escape. The bed was up against the wall, the headboard was touching the wall, and the left side of the bed was touching the wall. And I believe that Maddie was on the outside and Kaylee was on the inside. The way the bed was set up, she was trapped. Kristi Goncalves believes the assailant was not expecting to find the 2 best friends together in the same bed. I do think that his plan went awry. I do not think, he intended to kill one. And I think, she said, I do think that, he intended to kill 1 and killed 4. And I agree with her on that. I do think that he had the intention on killing 1. I think that he thought that even though he was circled that house and he knew exactly when the lights turned off, I don't know why he didn't wait a little longer. Like, seriously, do you think people just straight go to sleep when the lights turn off? Do you know what I mean? Like, he didn't, he was just too, like, trying to be too, I don't know, he was too fast. He just messed up. There's just things he did that he messed up. He left the knife sheath. Like, that was like a major thing. And now I don't know if he left the knife sheath because he took it off. And then with the struggle with Kaylee and Maddie, he forgot it. Or if he heard Xana coming up the stairs, maybe, and he's like, oh shit. And he just turned and went that way. But either way, I think that he only intended to kill 1 person. But I mean, he did kill 4. So it doesn't matter what his intentions were. He killed 4 people. So welcome in, Aries. Yeah, and the chaos, he forgets the sheath. Yeah. That makes sense, body movement. I'm just reading the chat. So they're saying that they're in the same bed, but we don't know for sure. Like, we just know that Kaylee and Maddie were in the same bed when they were killed, right? So a lot of people speculate, or a lot of people think, based on, documents and stuff like that, that maybe Kaylee was in her own bedroom and then she got up when she heard commotion. And it just makes sense because I don't believe that Kaylee would just like lock Murphy in her room with things in there. He was an 11-month-old puppy. He would have chewed that mattress. I had a dog. This dog was this big, and she took the mattress off the bed, chewed it, and our big dog was sitting on it just like, you're going to get in trouble. Like, it was bad. I think that, I think the dog would have done that. Mary Beth, that he should, his own survey questions. Like, here, take this. The Goncalves also think they may have found a possible connection through Instagram between Kohberger, their daughter, and Maddie Mogan. They believe they found Kohberger's Instagram account, and he had been following Kaylee and Maddie's Instagram. From our investigation of the account, it appeared to be the real Brian Kohberger account, says Kristi Goncalves. However, Brian Kohberger's defense team has stated in court filings that there is no connection between Mr. Kohberger and the victims. Investigative reporter Howard Bloom, who has written extensively about the case for Airmail, and we've read every Airmail article, a digital newsletter, explains in an interview with 48 Hours, the prosecution would like everyone to believe that it's an open and shut case, but I think the facts that they have make the case perhaps more open than open and shut. Bloom also says if no connection between Kohberger and the victims can be established, then there's no motive, and if there's no motive, then it becomes very hard to make the case that he is the killer. Did they check the school computers, I wonder, like in the library? Because if I was going to be sneaky snake, right, I probably wouldn't use library computers either. I'd probably just buy a computer and then get rid of it. But could he have used the school computers? Maybe. Like not his a TA computer in his office. I'm talking about like in the library or whatever, like around campus. I wonder if they checked those. With the gag order in place, information is restricted, but the filings do provide some insight into the defense case, says CBS News consultant Brianna Fox, a professor of criminology at the University of South Carolina and former FBI special agent. That was a long title. I don't think there's any slam dunk, Fox tells 48 Hours. It seems that the defense is alleging there was a rush to judgment. Law enforcement made arrests too fast and they focused on their client too quickly. Well, you couldn't give the alibi defense because you didn't have an alibi. You couldn't do the alternate perpetrator defense because your alternate perpetrators, that was a dud. You couldn't get a continuance because the judge said no. So I think that's when she was like, okay, Brian, we got to do something here. Just my opinion. The defense filings have tried to poke holes in some of the information alleged in the affidavit released after Kohberger's arrest, such as cell phone data that picked up Kohberger's movements near the victim's house and security cameras that captured his Hyundai Elantra near the murder scene. The defense has pointed to concerns, says Fox, whether Brian Kohberger's car was accurately identified at the outset or if that identification was affected after authorities learned the model of the car he drove. Good question. While the alleged cell phone data makes one suspicious of Kohberger, says Bloom, it's not putting someone at someone's doorstep. It's putting someone in someone's neighborhood. And there's a large difference. And if you can convince a jury of this, if you can raise doubts about the validity and the accuracy of the cell phone data, I think you're halfway there to getting the case against Kohberger, either a hung jury or a not guilty verdict. They didn't take that chance. Kristi Goncalves says, regardless of the defense claims, she remains steadfast in her belief that Brian Kohberger is responsible for the murders, and that whenever the trial begins, her family will be there. He's going to feel all of us just staring in the back of his head, says Kristi Goncalves, and he knows what he did to our daughter. And she never got that chance. She got it one time. It's crazy. Maybe, yeah, when he claimed that survey, he really did it up. Let's see here. What's this? Idaho. Oh no. Idaho murderer Brian Kohberger. This just popped up. Former friends dive into killer's mindset about why he did it. His former friends. Let's see what his friends are saying. Oh, that's crazy. I mean, I do wonder what his friends are saying. I wonder what his parents are saying. Like, what do his parents think? What do his sisters think? Do his sisters say, "Oh my gosh, I was right"? Like, if she did turn him in, right? We heard speculation that one of the sisters or both the sisters thought that Brian, had something to do with this. I would be stunned if that was my brother. I mean, my brother would never. He's the sweetest guy. But like if I was in that position, I would be stunned. So let's see what it says here. Idaho student killer Brian Kohberger's former friends from Pennsylvania and a classmate at Washington State University are baffled that the man they knew to be quiet and awkward pled guilty in the mass murder case that rocked the nation. So Kohberger, a former WSU criminology PhD student, pled guilty on July 2nd to killing 4 University of Idaho students on November 13th, 2022, as part of the plea deal of the prosecutors to escape the death penalty. Kohberger faces 4 consecutive life sentences for fatally and 10 years. I want to put that in there for the burglary. For fatally stabbing 21-year-olds Madison Mogan and Kaylee Goncalves, as well as 20-year-olds Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin at their off-campus house in early morning hours of November 13th. So Kohberger's former childhood friend from his home state of Pennsylvania, 31-year-old Jack Bayless, he was the one, I think, with like the dark hair. I think he was the one sitting outside maybe with the interview. We just went over those interviews not too long ago. So he told the Idaho Statesman, his idea that Kohberger developed a fixation on people who commit murder and wanted to see if he could get away with committing the perfect crime. That was like his best buddy at one point, Oh, thanks, Body. Tanya, I posted a short, 2-minute video a few days ago of SG telling us someone was suspect of BK and contracted, and then he gets interrupted. Oh yeah, I will. You can go there so I don't forget. Was it on YouTube? Oh, I know subscribed over there. Okay. Sure. Okay. We'll look at that next. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you're on lunch? Oh, happy Monday. Wow. Okay. So he said so one friend thinks, that he did it because he was fixated on, people that commit murder. and he wanted to see if he could commit the perfect crime, right? And get away with it. I could see that in a way. So he says, I think he did it to see what it felt like to experience it. If you wanted to write a paper about what killers feel and why they kill, to be accurate, you have to experience it truly experience it yourself to truly understand it. To get into the mind of a killer, you have to be a killer, would be my guess. Wow. So he wanted to be able to talk about it from the first point of view, right? From his point of view, because he was he could be a killer. Like, I don't think he would tell people that, but I think he would take the knowledge that he gained and used it. Like, if he were to start, if he did get his PhD and he did move on to be like a professor or something like that, I think he would come back to this case and kind of talk about it and discuss it and be like, yeah, I was, right over in I went to Washington State. This wasn't, University of Idaho, like 10 minutes away. He would have to talk about it. I mean, like, if he got away with it, like, I feel like he would have had to talk about it. So then Ben Roberts, 33, a former criminology graduate school colleague of Kohberger's at WSU, told the Statesman that Kohberger was kind of non-existent in school. Ugh. You hear that, Kohbergs? I noticed that unless he was deliberately trying to put on an appearance, if he didn't have the mask, he was kind of non-existent or hollow, I guess. It's kind of like you're staring into an abyss. There's something human supposed to be there and isn't. He added that Kohberger's actions after the murders he has since admitted to committing baffle him. I just can't even begin to get inside the head of somebody who could do something like that and then attend class like it's business as usual. That's just completely alien to me. Another former childhood friend from Pennsylvania, where Kohberger grew up in the Poconos, told the Statesman she feels disgusted that he could actually do something so heinous. Kohberger, now 30, did drugs in high school and eventually overcame the heroin addiction. His friends described him as chubby, awkward, and quick-witted to the Statesman. I won't lie, I kind of spiraled yesterday, Casey Arnaz, 32, told the paper. Now, Casey's the girl that came out that had drove him to get the drugs, but she didn't know that's what he was getting at the time. Did he ever have thoughts like that before? Did he ever think that he wanted to kill me or my friends? Were we spared because we were friends with him? Good questions, right? Arnaz added later that while she wasn't as close with Kohberger as her brother or the other friends were, he still spent time in her parents' house, and she had spent time alone with him, which makes her wonder why he did what he did. I guess the one thing I would say to him is that everyone wants to say to him, why would you do this? Why would you take the innocent lives of 4 beautiful people? I can't even begin to imagine what he would say. How does someone justify their actions when they're so morbid? She said. No one's taking up for you, Kohberger. Her brother, 29-year-old Thomas Arnaz, and that was the one he used to beat up on, told the Statesman that he felt relieved that Kohberger pled guilty. I am deeply sorry that Brian's parents have to live with this as well. I've always thought they were kind people and they didn't deserve this. I hope people leave them alone. And for Brian, God have mercy on his soul. Wow. That's the best statement yet. Goncalves' family has expressed their disappointment. We read those, but during the plea deal, they had their Facebook post. We read through those already. And Kohberger will be sentenced July 23rd at 9 a.m. So it'll be out 11 a.m. here. So I'll be, of course, streaming that per usual. Let me get some of these tabs out of here, and then we'll look at body movements. Her short was it the last short that you did? What was it? This one here? Let me know. Well, Angel, they did give them like a Rolodex of where they would find the stuff that they needed. Like if they were looking for his like discovery, you know, like that he was going to use, he did give them, like the judge ordered, like, hey, give them, you know, page numbers and stuff like that. And so they did do that. They did give them page numbers and things like that. But I would have got, I would have, oh, under videos. Okay. I would have personally, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say now. Let me see. I have to read them. I have to read the message again. I don't know what I was going to say. Not important. Not important. Yeah, it had spreadsheet for reference. Yeah. It's the last video. Okay. Let's watch this, guys. So, okay. Yeah. So Steve gets interrupted. Oh, yeah. Let's look at this. I must have missed.
And
oh,
this is just the beginning of what this guy had.
It's really low.
I know through a search warrant, they were able to search his Amazon purchases. What did they find?
They found that this was a calculated event. He'd been working up to this, I believe, for years. The real interesting part that I found and I was informed was it was only after one of these witnesses seeing that he was about to buy another one. So their suspicions were he was involved. Then they see that he's about to get another one, and they were like, they put their foot down. They did the right thing.
You're talking about the knife and the sheath. The knife and the sheath,
Yeah,
they found that months before the murder, he bought a knife and a sheath that looked very similar, or maybe exactly, correct me if I'm wrong, was it the exact knife and sheath that was used?
That's how it's been described to me exactly. Yeah, and then he clearly got rid of that evidence, and it was when he was going to buy another one that these people were like, okay, the suspicion has been confirmed.
Why do you think he was buying another one or wanted to?
I think he got rid of that one, and he was, he thought that that was a perfect weapon. Quiet.
Sorry, the sound was so low. Yeah, I had to like, I just had to concentrate. So was it about the knife sheath? Oh, contacted authorities. Oh, was it right at the end?
He thought that that was a perfect weapon. Quiet.
Oh, I couldn't get it. Was it in, where was that?
Clearly got rid of that evidence, and it was when he was going to buy another one that these people were like, okay, the suspicion has been confirmed.
Why do you
Oh, he does say that these people. I can't turn it. I try to turn it up. My sound booster is not working. I don't know. I need to figure this thing out because it's like boosting, I think, my sound like on StreamYard, but not boosting the sound on the actual thing. I wonder if I like. Let me see something really quick. Okay, this. Okay, let me just check something out real fast. Okay. I'm going to take this off of here, off of StreamYard. Stop sharing. I'm going to see if I can, if I do it like without being on StreamYard, if it'll let me. Nope. Please rate us, it says. No, I'm not rating you. Where's, oh no, I don't know where I went. Okay, let me go back to. I wanted to drop Body Movement's chat in the. Go over here and subscribe to Body Movement. She's great. She has great work. Great insight. Great insight. He could only do it like Charles Manson sentenced to death. Oh, to death row law change. Yeah. The God denied parole at every parole hearing and died in prison. Yeah. How long ago has that been that he died? He got married and everything. Remember her name was like Star or something, Starlight or Star or what was her? Charles Manson's wife. I think it said Star. Yeah, her name is Star. But we haven't seen anything since August. Okay, let's see. January 4, 2025. That doesn't look like Charles Manson. Who is this? I'm like, who is this guy? Let me see if it does show it. Okay, let's see. Oh, what happened? He just went away. I think you have to be like a member. I was going to show it to you guys. Let's see if it'll let me. So, who was Charles Manson? Oh, dang it, it did it again. Okay, we'll go back. The only thing that was is like right here, like there she is. Look at this tattoo on the middle of his forehead. My goodness, Charles Manson. Remember the girls were like crawling on the ground? Oh my gosh, they were such, oh my, that. I don't think that there's ever been a trial that's been that crazy, right? I think that we can all agree that Charles Manson's trial was probably like the whole thing, like with everybody, right? The whole deal. That was probably legit the craziest trial ever in the history of trials. I mean, you had people like crawling on the floor. Oh, have a good night or have a good day. Thanks, body, for coming in. But yeah, oh my gosh, that was just, that's scary. I remember my mom and dad like, you know, show like playing that news, like you just like not when he did it, because of course I wasn't alive, but like, you know, just being on the news and being like, oh, there's Charles Manson. We were a true crime family. They were, the Manson posse was nuts. Can you imagine being that deep in a cult? I mean, I've seen it actually on YouTube and people when so I can't say nothing, you know, but wow. So now 9 years later, her name is Star and she's 25 years old. Oh, it's not official. It wasn't official yet. They filed for the first round of paperwork. He was 79 and she was 25. What would make you look at him? What do you see in him? It's his mind. He has one of those like just has charisma or something. You know what I mean? Those people that are just, they can say stuff and you believe it. I don't know. Don't come around me, Charles Manson. Which, I mean, he can't now, but so crazy. I wonder if you can, is anyone on Idaho death row? It's unknown. Okay. No contact visits, though, I guess. So if you were on death row. So you wouldn't have like, and I know that Idaho doesn't have conjugals. So like, you know, there's not going to be any conjugal visits for this guy. There's not going to be, there's not going to be like, you know, he's not going to have like a whole lot. He's just going to be sitting in jail, prison for the rest of his life. He's going to be in general population at some point, and that's scary. Like, that's scary to think about. Like, I don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to go up in there and try to take down the largest person and, you know, solidify his place, or if he's going to just hang back and try to be quiet and just kind of sit in his bed, you know, on his bunk and just try to like not, you know, not get his ass beat pretty much. I don't know what he's going to do. I feel like he would have liked being by himself. Like not maybe death row, that's scary, but you know, the 23 hours a day being locked down. But he's been like that for over 2 years. So maybe he's ready to actually be around people. But they don't, but when you're in prison, no one shuts up, right? There's bedtime, but they're still loud. There's still people talking. There's still, you know what I mean? There's no bedtime for people. Like, it's just, that's what I'm trying to think. Like, because I have autism, and loud noises and stuff like that sometimes can really bother me, like, and can trick my sensory issues. So I just think of that, and I'm just like, Brian, are you sure you're autistic? Because, man, I know, Trips, it's bad. It's crazy. I had someone in the comments just yelling at me saying, Brian's innocent. What are you talking about? And I was like, whoa, he confessed. I didn't make him confess. No one made him confess. No one did that. And if he's innocent, which I don't think he is, come out with a memoir or a book and tell us exactly what happened. You know, like what you did, where you were November 13th. I would have said, I don't remember. I mean, that's better than driving around. I would have been like, I don't know. But I know exactly where I was November 13th. I was asleep. What are the content creators doing that are like more like Brian's innocent? Are they accepting it or no? Yeah, there's not going to be any laws to free him. They're not going to go back to, like I said the other day, they're not going to go back to like the 1970s and be like, oh, let's go backwards and just give like 10, 15 years for each murder. Like they, you know what I mean? Like they did back in the day. You just, no. Hey, Tracy. It's just insanity to me. I'm about to go onto YouTube. I try not to like, I have a lot of people like okay, I'll show you something. Okay, so this is my like thing. I love this girl. She does like bar drinks. Look at this. I'll have to maybe watch that sometime. So, okay, I'm going to go down. I don't want to like do anybody that. Okay, I'm not going to actually touch the button now. But did you know that you can go to this? So if you have anybody on your YouTube that you do not want to see on your For You page, like you were just like, oh my gosh, I don't need this negativity in my life. Because there are YouTube creators out there that are very just negative. If you go to the 3 buttons here, if you go don't recommend channel, you'll never ever see that again. Oh, I didn't even put it up on the board, up on the thing. Let me add it to the stage. I didn't add it to the stage, guys. Sorry about that. And these 3 dots right here. And then you just go down and don't recommend channel. And it'll not recommend it for you anymore. I've only done that with one channel, and that was Truth and Transparency. That was a long time ago too. That was like 2-3 years ago. I was like, I can't do it. I can't deal with that. So yeah, you can do that if you want to. A little tidbit, a little bit of advice from yours truly. Because there is a lot out there. Actually, I wanted to look at that. I wanted to see. I was going to go like harsh reality, see what he's talking about. Wow, did Ann Taylor screw Brian Kohberger? Oh, wow. Wow. It will be. I know. Go for it. Yeah, they do. I feel so bad. I mean, I feel so bad for Dylan. Like that girl has been through the freaking ringer. I mean, she has been put through hell and back. I know she didn't call for 8 hours. I did a video actually on fight, flight, and freeze fawn. And because I've been in this, not that same situation, but a similar trauma. Okay, not like no one was killing anybody in my house, but somebody was killed and just like a similar trauma and what I did in that situation. And so I just have a different understanding. And I feel like I can relate to Dylan in a way. And I think that she really was, I think she was saved. I don't know what she was wearing that night, but I just think that Brian was so focused on getting out of that house. And I think he was thinking about the sheath. So what I think was when he sat down in Xana's room, after, doing everything he did, I think he had his knife and he then realized I don't have my sheath, right? Because he's going to have to put it back in the sheath, right? I would think before he leaves, he puts the knife back in the sheath. So I think that he grabbed something off of the desk that was Xana's. And that's the container that Dylan saw in his hand. Whether it was just like like I said last night, like a cup, or you know what I mean? Like something like a jewelry container, or just like a little box or something, whatever would fit, the blade in. It'd have to be a pretty decent size. But maybe that's what she saw. And I think maybe in that hallway, he was looking for that step that goes down. So he was like kind of concentrating on that. And then he just looked up and went out the door, and she was right here. I personally think that he might not even thought that was a bedroom right there. I mean, unless he was on Zillow looking at everything, he would know. But I think that she just got lucky. Right, misbehaving, they do. They do, and I know that they probably regret a lot of things. I would be terrified to get out to walk out of Bethany's door. I would. So she saw him going out the door. Like he was going from Xana's bedroom, like coming around, and he was going out of the door. Let me see if I can pull up Clue. The Kahlua app thing, I call it Kahlua, but that's not what it's called. Kula, I don't know. This app used to let me like go around. It messed up again. It fudged up again. I'm like, really? So let's see. So he would have been coming around here. And then let me find. These are all like backwards. So let me see where Dylan's is. Okay. So then he was coming around this corner. Sorry, I'm like the worst at this, but he would have been coming out of Xana's bedroom. Oops, sorry. And then walking through the hallway. And then I think he had his head kind of down because there's this step right here. It's like 4 inches, I believe, a 4-inch step down. So I think that he might have been looking for that so that way he didn't trip on the step, right? And usually there's a runner that goes, on that, on like you can kind of see it, the light brown, and maybe he didn't want to trip over that as well. So our runner came up today and I tripped, or last night, and I tripped over it, and I was like, that's it. Like my blood pressure went up. I was like, fix it, please. Me too. So oopsie, I think it was just something from Xana's room. I really do. I think he just saw something and took it. Like not just so that he could put his knife in there. I thought my guess was, and I don't know if we don't know really what happened, but I thought maybe when he was going past Dylan, he wasn't going out the back slider door. I thought maybe he went up the steps a little bit to get his sheath. And then he realized, no, I don't have time for this. And then he walked out. And I thought he used the front door, but that's just me, because there's reports that the front door was left open and at 8:30 in the morning by neighbors. So I don't know why, if the door was open though, why Dylan didn't shut it on her way down the stairs to Bethany's room, unless somebody opened the door after Dylan had gotten into the bedroom. That's the only thing I could think of, and I don't think that's the case. I don't know. We don't know. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. You know what I mean? Steve G always said he had to kill Kit. Yeah. I just don't see him like carrying a kill kit around though. Do you know what I mean? Because that would be like noticeable in a way. Unless I thought maybe he had one of those knapsacks, like back in the day. You remember those knapsacks that were like real, like the strings were real small, like that you could put on, and maybe somebody wouldn't see that you had a backpack on. And I thought maybe he put like his clothes in that. Did Thompson say that? I didn't see that whenever I was going through it. Because I went through the whole thing. I did a whole presentation. It took me 3 hours to put it together. Yeah, I'll have to go back through it. But how many pages is this? 18. Yeah, I did like a little presentation the other night. Just like, how I literally went through, and everything that Bill Thompson said, I wrote down. Like, And it was insanity. Like the key points. But everything that we only learned a few things. I remember going through this and being like, okay, that was like, I saw a kitchen wrong. There was a couple things that we didn't know before. I can't remember exactly what they were. I think like the Q-tip from the father is what got Brian Kohberger. Like, that was what they found. I don't think we ever knew that. But I think it did say on the warrant. Oh, I thought I was showing you guys, but I wasn't. I thought on the warrant they did say something. I think that was about Brian's Q-tip though. So like a swab. Look right here. There it is. But she says she saw him leave the house through the direction of the kitchen where the slider door was that he entered through. Yeah, he didn't say it was left open though. And I looked through so someone had told me that they thought it was on the second press conference that they came out with, but it wasn't, because I went over it. I went into the transcript and I typed it in. If you type like command and then F at the same time, you can search words in the transcript. So I searched the words that weren't there. So I went back to the first press conference because I was going to go through all of them. I'm like that. I'm very weird. I have to hear it for myself. And so I went in and on the first press conference, he said, he didn't say slider door. He didn't say front door. But how he said it was, he said the door, and he went like this, like he made like a motion a little bit. He said the door was left open. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, when he did this, a front door does this, right? Opens like this. A slider opens like, like this. I also think that if he thought the slider door was open, because I had never heard it. I swear, we can even go through it. He said the door was left open. I think that if it was the back door or the slider door, he would have said the back door was left open or the slider was left open. Does that make sense? Not just the door was left open, because like that, I don't know. It's crazy though. Either way, this is a crazy case, and we will continue to cover it on the channel. I'm usually here in the evenings at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we did great during the day, so maybe we'll do some day lives as well. I like doing them during the day. Actually, it's pretty nice, especially whenever it's like colder out, right? I mean, don't even want to think about it. So maybe MAGA Mama, yeah. You think he took something, Nicole? He could have. Yeah, trips. Yeah, for sure. Really, Judy? Yeah, I don't think she had any, Tracy. I think that was no, I think I'll come one tonight, because I do have some stuff I want to show you guys. I want to show you this it's called the King Road Killings. They did a video, and then I wanted to show you guys some other stuff. What else was it? No, I can't remember. Oh, we can do the questions for Kohberger. I think there was a couple other things. No, I can't remember. But I am going to put on my Patreon, before I forget, the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. There's like 6 episodes or something. Let me see. There's 6 episodes. I'm going to do the Long Island serial killer. There's 3 episodes on Peacock that Asa Ellerup did, and they're freaking scary. Just looking at her in the room that she's in. I'm going to put those over on the Patreon as well. Because those I can't do over here on YouTube, because they just, they'll just take them down. Like they'll just take the stream down, like it's not like I can do it and just not like monetize it. I just can't do it at all. So that's the Patreon link. I don't know why it's so dang long, but it is. Let me see if I can go to my Patreon if I click it. I'm using the iPad. I appreciate you guys all being here today. I really do. I really, really do. Look at that. We have 23 members already. That's amazing. And I do have one video on there. It's the Idaho Murders Peacock documentary. It's an hour and a half long. And I will make sure that I post the other videos as well. I will, let's see. I think we'll do, We should probably should we do Crystal Rogers first and then do Long Island? Yeah, maybe we should, but they're so long. Okay, I mean they're not so long, but there's so many. Let's go over to. I'm just going to go over to the Long Island thing. See how long they are. Like, look at this. Look how mean she looks. And look at all the boxes. The boxes are all still there. She didn't even clean it up. And she's talking about they made a mess in my house 2 years later and she hasn't cleaned it up. Asa. Oh, wait. You guys can't even see it. Hold on. Asa. I forgot I didn't add it to the screen. Add it to the stage. I'm so sorry, guys. You think this was my first live. I swear. I've been hiding stuff from you guys lately. But look at her. Doesn't she look like she's mean? And there's 3 episodes. Monster Among Us, House of Secrets, and The Good Wife. And let me tell you, I'll give you a little sneak peek hint. She said when she went to the jail to visit him for the first time, that she fell in love with him all over again. Like, oh my goodness. Hey, Michael. Like, oh my goodness. But the daughter thinks that she thinks he may be guilty. But then again, I think the daughter might know a lot more than what she's saying. They did live like hoarders, Trixie. That's what I said. I said their house was already a mess. Like their house was already a hoarding mess. You could I said those officers probably did them a favor. At least they stacked the boxes up, you know. They did cut out the tub, which I wonder why they did that. Yeah, the paintings. Oh, I know. We cover that case on this channel as well. We haven't really been touching up on it, but we need to. So I think when we'll play these and then it'll get our blood and our juices going. Yes, we want to do more on this case. Because I think it's a very interesting case. I do think Gilgo Beach is so interesting. I mean, they literally went out there to search for one body, Shannon, and they found so many more all along the coast. It's horrific. A toddler, an Asian male. Right, Nicole? It is, it is a creepy case. Chet said, Jay, that's what I don't know why they were allowed to take anything out of his apartment either. Really, Tracy? That's what I was thinking, Trixie's, yeah. And if he did that in the house, she wasn't always on vacation or something. I'm so sorry, but how many vacations does she go on? Right? Without her husband? I have never been on a vacation without Vincent. Never a day. I mean, I guess if I had a girls' trip, but I mean, I just never been on a girls' trip. You know, that's kind of sad too. I need to go on a girls' trip. I need to get my girlfriends together. Maybe that'll be on my bucket list before I turn 40. So it's just weird to me that she would go on this many, we're at 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe. I don't think they've added on the Asian male. I don't think they've added on the toddler. I don't think they've added on Peaches, but we know that it's all along the same. It's the same person. They just got to, get the evidence and, tie it all in. What was it, Ashley? Is there someone with a bad comment? I missed it. Yeah, Pickle. So I guess they said the blood was, I think it was his. So they said that it wasn't tied into the case. I think that it might have been his, especially where they found it. It was on the mattress, the mattress cover on both sides, and then it was also on his uncased pillow. Who lives like that with OCD? An uncased pillow. I just can't. Thanks, Wilby. I appreciate that. Oh, have a good night, Kathy, or a good day. Yeah, no Murphy hair, right? Oh, maybe I didn't get it. I don't think anyone's in here either. I don't think we have any mods. Maybe they deleted it. I should look on my side. Oh, I'm like on the other thing. Was someone coming in being mean? Sometimes people be mean. And I'm just like, whatever. You know, whatever. I know that probably yeah, we don't really get a whole lot of trolls in here, like, but every once in a while we will. You know, like every once in a while, like one day Rapper came in to troll, and I was like, I'm just gonna be super nice to him, right? So I just like was like butter. I was just so nice to him, and he's like, "Dang it, Tanya, I can't even troll you." And he's like, "You're too nice," and he left. I was like, "There we go." Oh, I'll have to keep that name in mind. Man, people are crazy. Wonder what they said. I'm always curious, you know. They I don't know. People try it, and it's just like it's not going to work over here. It's not going to work with me because I mean, drama is not my thing. That just is exhausting. That's exhausting. That's exhausting. Rapper is all over the place. Thanks, Delane. I appreciate that. Actually, somebody released some text messages that another creator wrote, and it was to go after me, pretty much. I'm like, I'm glad that Shady's going after her, can go after Titanium can't blah, blah, blah. And the comment section underneath that post was so freaking nice. Like, I almost cried. Every single comment was, Titanium, who would mess with her? She's so nice. Titanium doesn't do anything to anybody, you know. Joneson was like, Titanium, really? What? Like, people were just, you know, being very nice. And then I had a troll on X. I don't know what her problem was. I have no clue at all. I was trying to be nice to her, and she was talking about they were going to deport Vincent. ICE was going to show up at my door. So Trips, he's amazing. And Brandy was like, we're on this. And they were on it. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. So I appreciate that you guys are like here for me. That really means a lot. It really means a lot. Oopsie, I think it's because they want a reaction. If this was like a year and a half ago, I would have given a reaction. I would have. But I don't know. I want my channel to grow, and I want it to be like a safe place for people. Thanks, Micro. I think my problem is like I'm very empathetic. I told Vincent this the other day. I was like, I think it's almost to a fault. Like I don't know. I feel for people. Thanks, Ashley. That means a lot. She said you act the same as you did when you had under 1K subs. Like you are literally so sweet. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Delane. I appreciate that. It was light work. She was mad. What? And she blocked us all. And I'm like, you started it. I was like, Twitter deleted her post. They sent me an email, and I'm like, I've seen crazier things on X. You know, I was like, I've seen so many things on X. I was like, she was saying some stuff that Vincent didn't care at all. I told him about it. He's like, he looked at me like, what are you talking about? I was like, just go to sleep. Never mind. Oh, my doggy made a noise. Let's see what the other one's doing. Oh, what you doing over there? She's sitting the opposite direction today. She blends into the chair. You can't even see her. We need to put a light on you, Mia. Here you are. She just yawned. The other one's down here on the floor. Remember when I had the dog beds? I feel like you could see the dogs better when we had dog beds. I think so. Trolls do hate kindness, and that's usually what I do. Yeah, Ashley, it was bad. Like, she was like, what are you going to do when ICE shows up at your door? And I'm like, I was like, what ethnicity, first of all, does she think you are? And California is a state, last time I checked. So I'm like, oh my gosh. We don't have to be kind. No, we don't. There are serious. Bless your heart, right? I give them the ma'am if they're like my age or older. Even if they're not, even if they're younger, I'll be like, ma'am, please don't. Like the other day, I told someone, I was like, do you need a hotline number? In my comment section. Right, Micro? Right? It was like so racist. I'm like, what is I mean, he's half Italian, half Japanese, but I'm just like, you're like the most no, I mean, he is Japanese. Like he eats all of the food he eats is like Japanese food, pretty much, other than what we eat together. But other than that, he's totally like I don't even think he I don't even think he really looks Japanese, to tell you the truth. I mean, he does, but he doesn't. I'm like, I don't think ICE is coming to get you. But yeah, she kept saying that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then she said stuff about me, and she's in the chats because she said something about my extensions. I said something to you guys one time, maybe 2 times because I bitched about it. Maybe 3. Okay, maybe 3. Because I remember like complaining about it just a little bit. But it was about my hair. Since I have extensions, I can't get my hair wet in the pool. And I remember telling you guys that really sucks, but I'm just going to have to get like a swim cap or just deal with it. Like whatever. It's not a big deal. Like I'm going to a pool. That's awesome. I'm so fortunate and lucky to do that. Right. So just put your hair up. But she said something about it. And I only remember mentioning it maybe 1 time, 2 times, like, oh, I can't get my hair wet. Like, stupid extensions, like, because, I like to go to the pool. But yeah. I'm so glad that you found it, Maga Mama. And you're beautiful, by the way. Hey, ALR. Yeah, stalker. Like, I was like, she must listen in, but never like comment. Because I know everybody that comments. Like, I'll remember everyone's name. I might not pronounce it right, but I'll remember it. Yeah, they do trips. I like that you guys like blowed up her picture, and I was just like, that's so funny. And then she was like talking to me about, what did she say about something about me? I don't even know. I can't even remember what she said about me. That's how much I care. Like I forget. I forget things within 3 minutes. I'm ADHD. Yeah, she's going to find somebody that doesn't like just say something back on the internet, right? That somebody that will show up at her doorstep. She's gonna mess with the wrong person someday, like saying stuff like that. You don't say stuff like that. And thank you guys so much for being here today. What time is it? It's 4:30. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here because Vincent will be home any minute. And I had a really good time hanging out with you guys today. I think we'll do some more day lives. Let me check over here. It says 85% of you guys said to do more day lives. So we will. We definitely will. I enjoyed it. I might be back on tonight. I probably will be because, it's me. But I may start doing different times with my lives. I'm not sure yet. I think I'm like the only creator in the true crime genre that I know that I can think of that goes live at like every night at the same exact time. If anyone knows anybody else, let me know. But I don't know. I feel like that's a good thing for the algorithm. But then again, I feel like we could get more people and meet more people if we switch the times up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, because some people can't come in at 9:15, so maybe we'll just switch it around a little. But if I do, just make sure that you have, I noticed that a lot of people are alerted to notifications on YouTube, but not through your phone. So if you have like a cell phone, you have to go into your settings, go to your apps, go to YouTube, click allow notifications. That way you'll be notified of my lives all the time. Also, if you're on like a tablet, same thing. But yeah, I'm so glad that you guys were here today. I really appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with me, chatting with me after the live about just everything. And I'm going to see what these dogs want to do. I don't know where the cat went. He was sleeping in his bed. But I'll be back on tonight at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk some more Idaho 4. So if that's what you're interested in, make sure that you subscribe, you hit the like button. If you want to become a member, I do have it pinned still at the top. I don't know if I can put it in the chat. I'll put the Patreon in the chat. if you guys want to sign up for Patreon, I think there is a free thing where you can like sign up free for a few days or something like that. That way, you can do that for free. And then it'll just, I think charge you after if you decide to watch something else. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys all later tonight. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how.